Hey there friends, Jeff Fritz here, and in this video I want to show you how you can get your machine set up so that you can work with .NET Aspire to build your next application system. So what do we need to do to get configured so that we can get started with .NET Aspire? Well, we have a series of instructions that are available for you in the GitHub repository that accompanies this video series. There's going to be a link in the description just below so that you can get to that GitHub repository. This is documentation 1 -setup, and it will tell you how to get started right here. Now, if you're a .NET developer, you've probably got a bunch of this already installed and ready to go. Okay, that .NET 8 SDK, maybe it's the .NET 9 SDK. The latest version of the .NET SDK, it has to be 8 or more recent. You need to have that installed so that it has all of the .NET Aspire capabilities available to you. If you're working with .NET 8, you're going to need the .NET Aspire workload installed. Starting with .NET 9, there is no workload for you to have installed. We recommend you have Docker Desktop installed to help allow you to integrate with other services that .NET Aspire makes available to you as containers. And if you don't like Docker Desktop, you want to use something else, you can also use Podman to install and work with containers on your developer workstation. Finally, we recommend that you have Visual Studio 2022 or Visual Studio Code along with the C# Dev Kit. That'll help you get all of the tools and IntelliSense features that'll help you to write your C# code to configure .NET Aspire. It'll allow you to write that a heck of a lot easier. Now, if you're on Windows and you have Visual Studio, we recommend that you install Visual Studio 2022 version 17.11 or newer. Any edition will work, including the free-to-use Visual Studio Community Edition. Now, you're going to need to make sure you include these two workloads in the Visual Studio configuration: the ASP.NET and Web Development workload, as well as the .NET Aspire SDK component in the individual components. Let me show you the Visual Studio installer real quick and exactly where to find those. Here I am in the installer. There's my Visual Studio Community Edition. I'm going to click into Modify so we can take a look in a little bit further. And there's the ASP.NET Web Development workload right here in the top left. Click that one. Make sure you have a check on that to indicate that you do want that included. We also need to make sure we have the Aspire components selected. Those are under individual components over here. And if we just tell it to search for Aspire, there it says it's going to install the .NET Aspire SDK. Make sure these two items are checked and go ahead and click that install button right there, and it'll get your Visual Studio installation up to date with everything you need for .NET Aspire development. Now, if you're on a Mac, you're running Linux, or you're on Windows without Visual Studio, you can still work with .NET Aspire. You can install the latest .NET SDK, that's .NET 8 or later. On .NET 8, you have to install the .NET Aspire workload, which means you need to execute these two commands: .NET workload update and .NET workload install Aspire. Now, if you're working on Mac or Linux, you may need to run sudo so that you're in a super user configuration to install the additional features that you need for .NET Aspire development. We also recommend that you check out and use Visual Studio Code along with the C# Dev Kit on those other systems for the same reasons I mentioned earlier. It's going to make your C# development a heck of a lot easier because you'll have IntelliSense and other features like debugging that'll help you build and develop your code in Visual Studio Code. All right, so we've got everything set up, and we can now go and test out our configuration by building our first .NET Aspire app using all the details right here at this link. Now, I've got you covered. We're going to take a look and build our first .NET Aspire project. And it's kind of a misnomer because the the template that comes with .NET and you'll find in Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio 2022 is actually a solution that contains a couple of projects inside of it. But let's take a look and walk through that process right here in Visual Studio Code and see what it looks like and verify that our installation is running properly. So here inside of a new window, let me just bring up the command palette and I'll choose .NET New Project. And from my list of templates here, let me grab this one right here, the .NET Aspire Starter app, right there. And it's going to give me some choices as to where to write this on disk. I'll jump over here to my dev drive. I'll create a folder here called My First Aspire App. Copy that name, select it, paste it there. Project will be created in that location. Looks good. Go create the project. There's an API service, a little app host project there, something called service defaults, and then I know what this one is down here. It's a website. All right, so let's now go and use the debug tools that we have available to us in Visual Studio Code to launch and take a look and make sure that our application is running. We don't want to do anything too much more than that right now, because we want to save that for a little bit of the demo that we're going to get into in just a few minutes. So I'm going to reach into my app host project here and open the program file. I'll reach into the debug panel over here and tell it to go ahead and launch and debug and attach to this project. It's going to open that in Microsoft Edge, and we're going to see a dashboard here that has a little bit of information about the API service and the website that are running as part of this solution. I can click this link right here, and it should open and show me that basic default Blazor website. Great. I can click through and see a counter here and a faux weather report that's being generated and served actually from the API service that was delivered as part of that initial template. Seeing that these 3 pages work, I've got confirmation that my workstation here is configured properly so that I can start building and working with .NET Aspire tools inside of my applications and system. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you tune in to the rest of the videos in this series, because we're going to get started in our next video building and working with an existing application and adding .NET Aspire features to that application so that it can grow and get all the features and tenets that I've told you about in .NET Aspire. Thanks so much for watching.